This is hilarious. As you know, there are really no objective truths for the Trump administration. Someone is a good person to Trump as long as they serve Trump's interests and say the right things about Trump. And as soon as they don't, they're no longer good people. In fact, they're liars. They're terrible people. We saw it with Michael Cohen. We saw it with so many people. I can't even give you the entire list. It's sort of what I'm increasingly calling this stupid postmodernism, and it's something we're seeing from the right on everything from fact to opinion. And I already told you earlier that Donald Trump's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, has flipped. He's now working with Robert Mueller. He presumably has valuable information to provide about other people of interest. So within minutes of Manafort flipping, the White House revised a statement that said they believe Paul Manafort is going to be telling the truth to investigators. Just like that, no more truth-telling from Manafort is expected by Trump. Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, had put out this statement initially when news was sort of nebulous but breaking about what was going on with Manafort, saying, quote, "Once again, an investigation has concluded with a plea having nothing to do with President Trump or the Trump campaign. The reason? The president did nothing wrong, and Paul Manafort will tell the truth." That was Rudy Giuliani's statement. Within minutes, they realized, wait a second, we don't want to say that. Manafort is cooperating with Mueller. He's going to be saying a lot of presumably really horrible things to Mueller about what Trump and others did. So then they revised the statement and they put out an almost identical version, except it removes one key line, saying, quote, "Once again, an investigation has concluded with a plea having nothing to do with President Trump or the Trump campaign. The reason? The president did nothing wrong." Of course, completely gone from this new statement that Paul Manafort is going to tell the truth. But then, of course, Trump's team was asked, well, you put out the first statement, which said Manafort's going to tell the truth. Then minutes later, you put out a second statement, which no longer says Manafort's going to tell the truth. Do you no longer believe that Paul Manafort is going to tell the truth? And they did not respond to that request for comment. Think back just a few days when Donald Trump tweeted that, quote, "unlike Michael Cohen, he," meaning Manafort, "refused to, quote, break." That was seen as a sign of Manafort's strength and his credibility. Make no mistake, the Trump administration sees that the walls are closing in. Nothing that Trump or his administration say should be believed about this, and we need to go merely by the legal events. Charges, evidence, guilty pleas, guilty verdicts, people who are cooperating despite the fact that we were told that there was no case against them whatsoever. And this is actually a really interesting lesson to me about how to handle crises and how to manage negative press and how not to manage it. Because I've been saying from the beginning that the entire Trump-Russia thing, from the very start, it is significantly self-inflicted. And what I mean by that is that from the first day, there was the idea that maybe there's going to be an investigation. From that day on, if Donald Trump, instead of obviously trying to obstruct, insulting people on Twitter, drawing even more attention to his actions and the actions of his family and his campaign staffers and cronies, if instead of all of that stuff, Trump had just said, "I am very busy being president. I will fully cooperate with the investigation. I look forward to being cleared. And in the meantime, I'm going to advance the agenda that I promised voters." I'm not saying if he had done that, there would never have been an investigation, because clearly he became this erratic when news of the investigation started to spread. It would not have been nearly as bad. And in particular, the firing of Comey, right? If he had done everything the same but not fired Comey, this never would have gotten as far as it did. Sort of hard to imagine that thinking back now, but there were countless moments where Trump could have gone in a different direction. And of course, now it's too little too late, but this should be, I don't know if they have classes in college about crisis management, but if they do, this mishandling of this entire fiasco, with Trump at the very top of that mishandling, and of course, people around him that haven't done a particularly good job, this should be sort of like crisis management 101, what not to do. Send me your thoughts about what you think this entire Paul Manafort flipping cooperation deal means. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. The show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. We've got a good one for you today. I'm glad you're with us. One of today's sponsors is Skillshare, which is an incredible online learning community offering over 10,000 high-quality online courses on a huge variety of topics. The first 500 people who click the link under this video will get 2 entire months of totally free access to every single class offered by Skillshare. You'll have free access to courses on music, art, photography, business, computer programming, cooking, meditation, and everything in between. I think you'll have no problem finding courses that are perfect for you. I just took a really fascinating class on watercolor painting, which I am not yet at the level of trying to perfect, but more at the level of trying to learn even just a little bit about. Our show is giving you 2 entire months of totally free access to every course offered by Skillshare, risk-free. If you click the link under this video, you'll have 2 whole months to take classes on anything you're passionate about, classes taught by real people who share your passion. And after that, you can keep getting access to the entire site for less than $10 a month. Just click the link under this video to redeem your 2 free months of Skillshare, but hurry because it's only available to the first 500 people who sign up.